Hello. Greetings, Grasshopper. My name is RJ Redden. I, of course, do some black belt bots, and today I would just love to talk to you about one specific thing. The Today Show is named I Like Big Bots and I Cannot Lie. And I may have done that on a dare, but let me tell you, I am ready to give you all of the reasons that I absolutely love bots. I love working with them. I love working on them. I love collaborating with people. I love it all. And I want to tell you why today. Also, a little later on today, we're going to do a little challenge. We're going to see if, we're going to see, we're going to see a little challenge later on. So, do stay tuned for that. But first, all of the reasons that I love bots. Now, these are in no particular order. Oh, by the way, if you have no idea what a bot is, if you've got no idea where to start here. Boop, check out mybot.com. If you go there, you will get the opportunity to sign into my bot, where I teach you all about what they are, what they can do, how to build them, what software to use. It's a free 7-day mini course, and it's fabulous. So do check that out if you don't know where to start. Okay. Why do I love bots? In no particular order, except for the last item, which is the most important item. And I do have a soapbox ready. It's right over there. I may get on it during that last reason, but for now. First reason I love bots is because it is frictionless entry into the space. Most of the time, when people are attempting to, kind of get you into their circle, it's done through sign up for my email, sign up for my newsletter. Hey, you get this free thing if you sign up for my email, if you sign up for my newsletter. That's marketing 101. It's how it's been done since, I don't know, man first crushed grapes. I don't know. It's been done that way for a long time. People offer, a freebie, a download, a PDF, an infographic, whatever it is. 87 ways to digital marketing stardom. There you go. To get this PDF, just give me your name and email here, and then you get added onto a newsletter of sorts, and off you go. Okay, now, people don't want to necessarily give up that information. I know that I have several junk email addresses that I give out on a regular basis. There's even a thing out there called, I think it's called meltmail.com, where you can get an email address that will exist for 1 hour and then it will be deleted forever. There are all kinds of things happening out there about this email stuff. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. Anyway, you can get that. You can get the little email addresses that disappear. You can give out a junk email address, and lots of people do this. I have, tons of emails coming to me all the time. People don't like to give up their personal information because they don't want what they would consider spam to be in their inbox. Now, why would they judge you as spam immediately? Well, that's just kind of the way that marketing has kind of come about. People aren't judging you based on you. People are judging you based on all of the other emails they've received for the last 20 years. And likely it's going to be kind of a harsh judgment. So, getting people on your email list is important, but it does involve people having to give up their personal information, which they don't often like. Bots are different, though. Bots are different. Most people, a lot of people use Messenger, like a billion sign-ins in a month, whatever. Most people are signed in all the time, and when they come upon your website, they will already be signed in to Messenger. Most people already are. So it's really just, instead of having to give them your name, your personal information, all of that stuff, you just, boop, click the send to Messenger button, and the stuff is in their Messenger. It's that easy for somebody to be a contact. It's that easy for someone to come into your circle. And I think that frictionless entry part is really important. For me, it's really important. And there are so many websites out there who will, you land on them like, okay, I'm not a cook. You know this. But I do prepare twice a week a crock pot recipe for when my lady comes home. Okay. It's kind of nice. You set it all in the crock pot in the afternoon. The house smells nice for hours. You get to eat. It's great. But on my iPad, which I, bring with me into the kitchen, I'll try to get a recipe, and then I'll be like scrolling down to get to the ingredients, and bam, get on our email list. Why would I get on your email list? Why are you in my face right now? I don't know that I'm, the results of what I'm going to do with your information are even good. The way that people want, often give you the opt-in is very intrusive. And then there's the intrusivity of the information itself. So one of the main reasons that I love messenger bots is it just removes all that for you. Hey, do you want this in your messenger? Yes or no? If you don't, that's cool. If you do, boom, you've got it. You haven't had to give me anything. You haven't had to do anything. So excellent. Good stuff. Another reason why I love bots is that it begins with a conversation. Getting to know someone, back and forth transfer of information. This is still, no matter what kind of tools we have, and we have a lot of tools out there, it's still the best method for getting to know someone and getting to know who they are, what they want, if I'm going to be a good fit for them, if maybe I'm totally not going to be a good fit for them. The conversation is still the best way to get to know people. It's just that before this, it's been impossible to do that at scale. It's impossible to have a conversation, a good one, where you're actually genuinely being yourself and, transferring information back and forth and having a good engaged conversation. It's impossible to have more than one or two maybe two stretches it, really. It's impossible to have more than one at once. But it's a really great way to get to know people. All of the other digital marketing stuff that we have, it's drawing people into your circle. It's getting people into your crowd so you can have a conversation with them. Bots begin and end with the conversation. A lot of people want to focus on the features. We had a little discussion in the community today. By the way, if you're watching and you haven't joined the community, it's a fun place to be. It's super free. I'm there. My friends are there. We're all talking about bots and sometimes other things. Join us, Black Belt Bots Community. Just join us on Facebook. I'll approve you when I get done here. Anyway, we're having a conversation today. What would you have liked to have known before you started building your bot? Is there anything that would have made your process easier? And one person was answering, based on the very specific conversational element of it. Like this person had kind of backed away from all of the other parts and was focusing just on the writing, the conversation part of it. So many people, and I too, because I'm a technical nerd and I love to explore these things, they want to get into the features and the back end and how can you get this piece of information and transfer it over here and sign up for a webinar over here and blah, 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 Go crazy. Go crazy on all of the permutations of the things you can do with the information. That's fine, but that's the icing on the cake. It's not the cake. It's not the cake. And people will go on forever about what bots can do and all of these things. Listen, it starts and ends with a conversation. Here's my bot tip of the day. Do you know how, like, when you pack for vacation, pack what you want, take the money you want, and then right at the end, take half the clothes and twice the money? When you are building your bot, I want you to spend twice the time on the conversation than you do on all of the back end elements. Twice the amount of time. And here's why, is because people will be attracted to you genuinely being you. And that message, is what's going to get them. The tags and the keywords working on the back end and the Facebook ad that pops up and all that stuff's so super neat. I'll talk about it for days, but it's a feature. It ain't the cake. The cake is your message. The cake is you genuinely being you and offering what you have and making that a valuable thing. To me, that's the thing. Spend 80% of your time focusing on your message and how conversational you're being. Spend 20% of your time on all the back end hookup fabulousness. If you do that, if you have a conversation first approach with this, then it will work for you. All right. Another reason I love bots, so many reasons, you guys, it was hard. It was hard to pare these down into a small enough space. Anyway, one of the reasons also that I love is because a conversation, to me, is easier to write than an email. Emails, for me, take a lot of work to craft. To me, an email, it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. But it's almost like sometimes like approaching writing an essay for school, which, I wrote plenty of those. Anyway, it's almost that approach of must make point number 1 and topic number 1 in paragraph number, whatever. I don't know. God, no. To me, approaching email feels like that. But when I'm writing a bot, I've had a billion conversations. If you were sitting right across from me right now, we'd be having a conversation. I know how to write a conversation. That is accessible to anybody. The rhythm of a conversation, the back and forth, asking you questions, giving you different paths to take according to the answers to those questions. We do this in conversation all the time. To me, it's so much easier to write the conversation in a bot than it is in any typical sales environment. Emails, sales pages, website copy, all of that stuff. It doesn't flow very naturally to me. Conversations, though, I know how to have those. And for that reason, it seems like bots, this is another reason to love them, they're more accessible to people. Normal human beings, people who aren't technological geniuses, people who aren't marketing geniuses, people who are running a business, doing a thing. It's more accessible to small business owners because it is about having a conversation. If you can start there, if you can start that with that mentality instead of, I've seen a lot of people just go nuts over, I got 1 billion people into my bot last night. So many people responded to this ad. You know what? That's important stuff and it's great stuff. And it's a tool in the toolbox, but it ain't the toolbox. The part that is very easily accessible to small business owners, the having a conversation. What if I was in front of you right now? What would you say to me? That kind of thing. And it takes a little bit to get into that kind of thinking. Trust me, all trainable, all learnable. Not a problem. Sometimes it takes a minute to get into that type of mentality instead of, vomiting every single word you have to say, cutting that up, waiting for responses, getting that other person to engage and to answer questions and things like that. Sometimes it takes a second to get into that mode, but once you're in there, this is so much more accessible to small business owners than here, write an awesome story-filled email once a week so that you can keep on people's top of mind. all of the things that we do. To me, it's more reachable from a standpoint of, hey, you're a small business owner. You've got a story to tell. You've got a story to tell. Why'd you get into business? Why do you do what you do? What are the things that inspire you? What makes you tick as a human being? People are dying for a human experience. They're so tired of all the fake stuff that goes on out there. They're dying for a human experience. Some of the best things that I've ever seen are not from the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world. He's a sweet man. Nothing against him. But I'm not inspired by that stuff, but I am inspired by people and their stories. Why did you start a business? Why aren't you working for someone else right now? These are all things that I want to know. These are all things that will inform my buying decision. Me, these days, I'm keeping my business and keeping my money in other small businesses if I possibly can. Okay, Starbucks is an exception. Just stop it. But also other coffee shops, local ones, I go to those too. But I keep a lot of my money in small businesses because that's what I want to grow. That's just what I want to grow. It's what I want to see. It's where I find my people. And when I'm making a buying decision, your story factors into that. And so telling my story over a conversation is so much easier than, all of the other things. The other reason it's really accessible to small business owners is this. Some people are super great on camera. You know who you are. You're fascinating, you're interesting, you're lovable, you're fabulous. Some people would much rather be stabbed in the eye by a dull fork than get on a Facebook Live or do any kind of video. You know what? Messenger bots accommodate all kinds. It just accommodates all kinds. You can totally be a video-based person putting out messages. You can totally be text and image-based if you want to. It's really whatever medium you feel comfortable in. I can show you how to put that into a bot. I can show you how to put that into, I call my bot a free mini course, giving out those free mini courses and inviting people into your circle. That's what this is all about. So the most important reason that I love bots, we are 18 minutes into this bad boy. I've been talking a long time, but now I'm going to give you the most important reason. And for me, because it signals the end of fake marketing. Now, what do I mean by fake marketing? I think you all know what I mean by fake marketing. It is, we all have a desire to stand out, do business with people that we just care about and love. Have a wonderful time doing our own thing. We are small business owners. The art of self-expression through our businesses belongs to us, right? But at the same time, we see people out there who are being really, really successful. We want to emulate and model that, and we don't want to start from scratch all the time. So we end up taking, and I have done this, my friends, you are not alone if you've done this, taking somebody else's copy from a page on their website and going, I could zhuzh this to be more me, and then, starting from somebody else's personality, starting from somebody else's starting point. This person is wildly successful. I could be wildly successful too. Let me just not start from scratch here. I've done it too. I've done it. But what ends up happening is that it doesn't sound like me. It sounds fake. It doesn't sound right. And then I end up with stuff that I read 6 months later and go, it doesn't sound like me. And it wasn't the key to making millions of dollars like this other person is doing anyway. Listen, I don't need 1 billion people to run a business. I don't need 1 billion customers. I can't imagine that much. And I don't need cheering crowds of people. I don't need an arena venue. I don't need any of those things. Here's what I need. I need enough folks that I can, be comfortable and run my stuff and pay my bills. That's what I need. That's what I'm going for. I'm not going for thousands and thousands in a crowd. I'm going for the people who will look at my stuff, respond to me, and go, betcha she could teach me a little bit about bots. Betcha she could help me along. That's what I'm going for. I'm not trying to appeal to absolutely everybody. And so when I say that bots are the end of fake marketing, not how everybody uses them, obviously, but how I use them and how I teach people to use them is that you get to be you. You get to genuinely be you. You don't have to be anybody else. Here's the beauty of using Messenger. People trust that little symbol. When people look at that little symbol, they think about talking to people that they care about. Facebook put it really, really plainly in their messaging on their Facebook terms of service when this Messenger platform stuff came out, that, or when they opened it to businesses anyway, that they wanted to open it to people, and they wanted people to be able to talk to businesses and people they care about. Well, I'm sure it was people and businesses. Anyway, when people look at that symbol, they have a certain expectation. And it's not an expectation of something hugely formal, and it's not an expectation of seeing a formula. It's not anything other than they're expecting to have a conversation. For me, I get to be me. I get to have my sense of humor, my purple and green hair, my little Bitmoji dancing all over the place. My ninjas are so in my bot. You just don't even know. I get to be me. I get to express myself. I get to figure out through the process of having conversations with people inside my Messenger bot. I get to find out who people are, what they want, what makes them tick. I can figure out, is this person somebody that I could collaborate with? Is this somebody that I could do business with? Is this somebody who just needs to be in my friend circle because I flippin' adore them and I can't live without them? I mean, there are other choices too. There are people that I identify as, this person I probably wouldn't, be able to hang out together or whatever. But bots allow me to identify those things. Emails don't. Facebook posts don't. Nothing, I mean, conversations. That's where I find the gold out. That's where I find it. And that's where people find out if they like me too. So not everybody in the world is going to respond to this personality. Fantastic. I don't need everybody in the world. I just need my few people at a time. So anyway, that's why I love bots. That's why I love bots. I think we're going to save the challenge for next time. I'd like to refine it just a little bit. A couple of things occurred to me during this live stream. I'd like to refine that just a little bit, but I'm just going to give you a little preview right now. The challenge is going to do with industry. So I'm going to challenge people to throw me an industry that I can't think of a bot for. Any industry you want. So be thinking about this. We'll be talking about it. I would love to take on whatever industry you think that this is an industry a bot can't be built for. I want you to throw it at me. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Also, I am starting a new series. This will be on YouTube, but I'm also going to play some of these videos during my live streams, and that is The Joy of Bot Building. It's going to be a great series, everybody. I have actually recorded the pilot episode. I have it out to a few people, and they're going to hopefully give me some feedback on it soon. But it is Chapter 1, Getting Started with ManyChat. Listen, a week ago I did a stream. My friend Ryan was watching. I said that building a bot it took about the same amount of technical know-how as editing a PowerPoint. my friend Ryan decided it's time. He popped on to ManyChat, which is the program that I recommend for building your bots if you're a small business owner. He popped on to ManyChat, and about 20 minutes later, I got a message in Facebook that said, that expressed some concern. And I called him up and went through it with him. And indeed, there were some concerning things in there in the ManyChat tour that, I've never taken it. I think I took it like way back last June, probably. But they've changed it a lot since then. They've added some stuff which isn't good. It just doesn't help people at all. Thing was made by geeks, okay? Anyway, we were able to settle that out, but I decided to do episode 1, Joy of Bot Building. I decided to do it on how to get started with ManyChat because there's a real simple trick to it, and I just wanted everybody to know that, where to avoid the stuff that if you're not a geek, you won't understand it. So anyway, Joy of Bot Building, that's going to be coming out soon. And I'm so glad that you were here to join me today. I love big bots, and I cannot lie. That's, it's actually like a dare. Like a friend of mine saw somebody say, I wish that the next person to talk about Facebook Messenger bots would just name their show this. And so that's why. But I do love bots. It's the end. It's the end of all of the, now I want to be a successful business person and I want to be successful in my marketing. So I'm going to copy what this other person does. I'm going to do what people tell me to do in order to, put a facade out there that indicates all of these little hot buttons. And you know what? That crap can be over if you want it to be over. It can be over. If you have any questions about bots, please do let me know. Go to checkoutmybot.com. There you will have an opportunity to subscribe to my bots, learn all about them, ask me any kinds of questions you want. And if you haven't yet, join our community. So for now, I'm going to sign off. I'll be back on Thursday at the appointed time of 1 o'clock Central. Until then, my friends, be safe out there, be genuine, and I will see you in a bot.